After a big snowstorm like the one we just had, keeping your house clean can feel impossible. Between boots by the door, wet mittens everywhere, and kids running in and out all day, your home might look more like a winter playground than a polished listing. But what if you're trying to sell your house right now and show it at its very best? Journalist Meg St-Esprit explored how everyday families can stage their homes realistically, and she's here to walk us through what she discovered. And before we start, we just saw outside of your house. That's the amount of snow that's out there. We know this is the reality of what everybody's living through right now.
Oh my goodness, yeah, we're on day 2 of remote learning. We've been outside 50,000 times. Everything is wet and salty.
Wet and salty, yes, exactly that.
But also I kind of love it. Like, I don't know.
It changes up, yeah.
It's something
the regular day.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the really hard part is we can have a lot of fun in this, but if you're under all of that stress of trying to move and to list your house and people are coming in, having boots by the door and the salt and the water, it can be overwhelming.
It really is, you know, and I write a real estate column for Pittsburgh magazine, so I look at these beautifully staged homes every week.
Yeah.
And a lot of realtors have stagers they work with. That's the best place to start if you want to hire someone. But there's a lot of things you can do yourself. And so I kind of dug into with some experts what that can look like.
Okay, so tell us what you discovered.
Okay, so the first thing I dug into is renting furniture because realtors and stagers do that all the time. But I talked to Court over on the north side. You probably drive past it all the time.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, I know them.
So not only do they rent furniture, they also have a used furniture outlet where the pieces are really nice. So you can swap out some tired stuff for a little bit or permanently. So we had them come over and deliver 2 new couches. Our couches were another science experiment. You probably could use them in a segment. And we're not moving, but I kind of just wanted to test out the process and see what it was like. Yeah, and it was painless, great. I talked to a real person when I called, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simple.
It's always hard when you're getting an automated system, yeah.
Exactly, and then other things, like I went to Remix Market, which is over in the North Hills. They sell used home goods. You could just switch stuff out, freshen it up a little bit.
And so when you were talking with realtors, I mean, you've talked to a lot of experts for this piece. Did you find that staging makes a difference? Because I think some people are reluctant, like, oh, no, it's fine. If they're looking for a house, mine's going to be fine for them.
Yeah, no, it absolutely makes a difference. There's tons of stats out there. It makes houses sell quicker. It makes them sell for more money. They stay on the market for less time. I talked to Kimberly Hairston-Neal. She's a local home organizer.
We've actually had her on the show before.
She's fabulous.
She's wonderful, yeah.
Yeah, and she just talked about how when someone walks into your house, they want to see that their stuff is going to fit. So if you declutter the main areas and shove everything in the garage, they're going to wonder, will their stuff fit in the garage?
Right.
And so thinking about things like that, a lot of realtors said the sterile white, sad flipper greige is out. You know, you can brighten things up a little bit, but you don't want to go through and paint everything white to sell your house. Things like that.
Interesting, because I think for a long time that was the advice, is that blank slate is the best way because then people can just envision what they want to create there.
Yeah, so I mean, in some senses, yes. Like if your baseboards are dirty, like fresh white paint is gonna look great, but you don't want to go through every room in your house and make it look like an Instagram ad. You know, maybe swap out some patterned curtains for some light curtains, maybe reduce the family photos, but not everything is HGTV. You want to think of the things you can hit easily.
Having gone through this just a couple of years ago, I know how stressful the situation can be when you're getting your house ready to sell, especially if you have kids and you have a lot of stuff.
So much stuff.
It's a lot of stuff to try and get out in order to list your house. But is it worth, like some of this stuff, is it worth it? Painting the baseboards and staging your home, does it impact the actual sale price, what you get for it?
You know, whether or not it impacts the sale price is really hard to tell. It tends to more impact the speed of the sale.
Okay.
You know, the market sets the price. So, but again, if someone is looking between 2 houses and your garage shows them that all their ski stuff and sports stuff is going to fit, and the other garage is just a pile of stuff that people took out of their house to take photos, it's going to make an impact.
So if renting furniture isn't a possibility, since you explored a couple of options, what else can people do if they want to try and replicate this?
Yeah, if you can't rent furniture, again, there's some of those great vintage markets. I love the red, white, and blue on 65.
They're great, yeah.
They're so great. That's like my favorite thrift store ever.
And I think people like the one on 51 too. Is there?
They're great. That's number 2. Yeah, you can put couch covers on. Again, swap out some photos for some cheap thrift store framed art. It doesn't have to be, you know, your favorite art. Exactly.
And from all the things, if there was one thing from your research that you found, what would it be?
It's just declutter. I mean, that's the number one thing. They want to see your actual home. When we moved, we had twin 7-month-olds and a 2-year-old.
Oh,
that's why we're never.
I'm so sorry.
We're
never moving again.
Never
moving again.
Yeah, they're much older now, but we just took the top layer of toys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the ones that don't fit anywhere. Put them in Rubbermaid bins. And when we got to our new house, a couple months later, they were all brand new again.
Because they hadn't played with them in a while. We did the same thing.
Put the crap away.
We actually ended up getting a storage unit.
That's smart.
And doing most of the decluttering and putting it in there. We did have to move twice, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth it. Meg, thank you so much. You can sign up for the Nest newsletter to find more information about staging and design. We're going to link you up on our website. And next on the show, after all the snow, the cold has settled in. So how long is it going to last? We're checking in with Mary right now. And yeah, it's cold.
You know, people will be able to declutter inside because I don't think a lot of people are going to want to go outside. We are looking at another cold weather advisory, so not as extreme as the extreme cold warning, but we're still looking at actual temperatures for our lows around 0, waking up tomorrow, and wind chill values below 0. It's going to stick around for a while. I'll have all of that and more coming up.